or gray.
So this is the screech owl here.
Red one today. We already have some whitewash.
Okay, I'll get that.
And so they're full grown. Keep this in mind with all birds. By the time a baby bird can fly, that's the size that they're going to stay. So it really doesn't take very long for baby birds to grow to their full size and be able to fly. Now, the soft-wet owl is spelled S. Get in the sweet spot here, if I can find it. It's spelled S-A-W-W-H-E-T. Soft-wet owl.
Pound is a reasonable guess, but it's too much. So what will be less than a pound? What do you think? Rita?
Pound.
Half a pound still? But yet I bet 99% of you have never seen one because they're so good at hiding. They hide in cavities in trees. They're down out of sight most of the time. On a winter day, you might see them sunning up in that hole in the tree. Question?
How close would you put your nest and would you mix them?
I would not mix them. If if you're talking an acre or two, I would put 2 different kinds.
4 or 5 acres?
If you have that much land, you could try putting them separated. But I would put this one up about 12 or 15 feet in a tree, a hardwood tree, and face it to your house so you can monitor it. And so when that hole disappears, you know that you have a tenant, you have a bird sitting in the hole. Here in eastern Mass, you have good odds at getting screech owls, very low odds of getting a saw-whet owl, but even though saw-whets do use cavities, it's possible but not likely. And then barn owl is another possibility, but if you're hearing barn owls in the yard, and we'll do the call here in a few minutes, you may not have too much success with screech owls. They don't tend to overlap too much in their territories. Yes?
You said that all your owls have some sort of disability.
But I think it might have been an owl.
I think it could have been.
It was either an owl or an eagle or something like that.
It could have been an owl, yeah.
Was it this owl? No? Bigger? Bigger? This?
About that size, with completely different feathers.
Okay, this is a barred owl, B-A-R-R-E-D, looking straight over its back. So here are the bars. These are stripes down here. And right now, if he lets me, I got my finger in his left ear, right now.
So it's right behind the eye.
Yeah.
In fact, if you pried open the ear opening, you'd see the back side of his eyeball socket. Yeah.
That's what he thought about it.
Yeah.
How many of you have ever heard that?
A lot of hands, yeah.
Who wants to help us practice that call?
How what? You've heard him in real life. Okay, so you should be pretty good at this then. What's your name?
Quinn.
Okay, Quinn. Where are you? So this barn owl was found on a highway in New Hampshire. He had been hit by a car, had a broken wing, was on the side of the road. Someone rescued him and brought him to a rehab center. And they tried to save that wing, but they couldn't get it to heal properly. So you can see it's still drooping, and he cannot fly. So he is unable to hunt, and that's why we can't release them back to the wild. So we give him a handicap ramp, and he can climb up and down on his cage, get up to high perches. And let's see, 4 or 5 months ago, he lived with his girlfriend, but unfortunately, she passed away at the age of 21. She lived a good long life, though. We don't know his age. He could be 15 or 20, we don't know. But, once they're an adult, you can't really age them. There's no way to know. Yes?
We were driving up from the Cape on 117 about a week ago, and an owl at a really low level flew right across the front of the car.
So this is often confused with a barn owl. This is a barn owl. B-A-R-N. And she's going to do a little dance. Maybe you would like to dance with her. Rock out. In the room. Yeah. She's still dancing a little bit. She still hears the music. But yeah, the barn owl is kind of a spooky owl. They don't hoot. they hiss, they screech, and they scream. So if you go into an old building or a cave and you hear something hissing at you, hopefully it's a barn owl. If it's not, I would advise leaving right away. Let's all try that. And she just dropped a big load of whitewash here, which I'll quickly clean up.
Now, barn owls are not normally found this far north. They aren't acclimated to cold temperatures. After all, look at her feet.
Every continent except Antarctica. So you look for them in warm climates. Here in New England, we have a few of them, but they're on the endangered species, small nesting populations. But if you get out of Florida or Texas or California, there's a lot more of them in those warm climates than there are here in the cold New England. You know, 100 years ago, they were probably more common in this area when we had a lot more farmland. But now most of our farmland has grown back up into forest, its natural state. And this is not a bird of the forest, this is a bird of open lands, grasslands, marshlands, farmland. Barn owl probably of all the owls has the best hearing in the world. They have for owls, very good hearing.
I'm a bit hung up on the fact that something would voluntarily go to Logan Airport. Like, I'd imagine there wouldn't be too much wildlife to prey around there.
He hasn't been to that many programs yet. This is only like his 7th program that he's come to.
He's doing a great job.
He is, so he's still learning the ropes. And Marcia, maybe you could talk into this microphone. What's his?
Okay, well, first of all, the hooting lessons. Great horned owls have a 4-note voice. Sometimes it's high, sometimes it's low. The low call would be woo, 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 woo. Try that. And then maybe back in the woods you hear a higher one. Woo, 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 woo. Go ahead. And then maybe the lower one might answer back. Woo, 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 woo. Go ahead. Yeah, this bird has a very initially sad story, but it's a very lucky owl.
Yeah, he was found down on the ground, unable to fly, with a broken wing. But initially, I don't think that was his first problem. I think he had eaten a tainted mouse. Takes the peanut butter, the trap kills the mouse right away. You don't poison the mouse. And that way a hawk or an owl or a fox or coyote isn't going to eat a poisoned mouse. And you can put the mouse out on the compost pile for a raccoon or a coyote to have a little snack. And everybody wins. We don't like glue traps because glue traps don't kill the rodent. And then you're stuck with a mouse stuck to this glue trap, and what do you do with it then? You still have to get rid of the mouse.
Yeah, it's pretty inhumane.
So, snap traps are the most humane way to get rid of mice, even though it's probably fully capable of catching its own food.
Yeah.
So we have a nice male snowy owl here. And, well, males are whiter usually than females. And we know he's also a male based on his behavior and also on a blood test. So we know. But he was hatched in a zoo, and so he's imprinted on people. But in the wild, snowy owls don't breed here in New England. They breed in the Arctic and the tundra. So northern Canada, northern Alaska, northern Russia, northern Scandinavia. What's that? They go way up, breed to north, up north, yep. And so they can fly hundreds and thousands of miles when they go highly unusual. Yeah, and we had hundreds of them here in New England. That was the year that they trapped 121 at Logan Airport. Question over here?
They can fly from, I assume, North Carolina all the way up to Bermuda.
Sure. They can come, one showed up in Honolulu. So how did they get there? That's thousands of miles over ocean. It may have hitched a ride on a ship, but we don't know. Unfortunately for that owl, it showed up at Logan. They don't shoot them. They live trap them and transport them.
Now, when they trap and ban them,
You can see Norman puts these, they're actually cell phone transmitters. And every time they get near a cell phone tower, they upload their data. And so you can track where these owls have been. And the battery supposedly is good for about 3 years on these transmitters. And of course, they don't upload too frequently in the summer in the Arctic because there aren't a lot of cell towers getting eggs. And then the male is off nearby hunting, and he'll fly in and drop lemmings off to her while she's incubating the eggs.
Will they also stay on the ground here in New England?
And in New England, you can see them on the ground, but also you can see them on light poles.
They have these huge territories. I mean, other animals mark their territories with food and whatnot. How do they A, mark their territory since it's so huge, and B, how does an owl know that it's in someone else's territory?
Well, in the Arctic, the males defend the territories by woofing, hooting. They do a woofing hoot. And I was in the Arctic this summer with a snowy owl researcher working on my next book, and some of the males are quite aggressive in defending their territories, particularly if there's young in the nest. And if you get too close to the nest, the male comes in and strafes you. And if you forget to duck, he rakes his talons right across your head, and you're going to lose part of your scalp. So you quickly learn to wear a backpack, and you hit the deck, and the highest point on your body is your backpack, and the male will strike the backpack. But they're very aggressive in defending those territories, both vocally and guarding it with their talent.